When I came out as a gay man in the early 1980s at age 15, a new disease began wiping out members of the community I had just discovered I was a part of. Even after scientists proved that the virus was not airborne or spreadable through casual contact, some people wore rubber gloves and masks when forced to interact with anyone who was infected or anyone they thought might be. Masks became a visual expression of stigmatization and homophobia. Nevertheless, wearing masks around people living with HIV actually protected them and their immune-compromised state against other viruses. The irony was not lost on those of us whose friends were dying in hospitals. We wanted to protect our HIV-positive friends, yet some preferred seeing others unmasked after facing so much isolation and fear. During the more recent COVID pandemic, scientists and medical professionals explained how wearing a mask offered a certain degree of protection to the person wearing it and a great deal of protection to others. The new airborne virus was particularly dangerous for those whose immune systems were compromised, whether by being of advanced age, living with HIV or another medical condition, or by being part of a community already challenged by lack of access to food, shelter, and healthcare. Communities of color, LGBTQ people, and refugees from countries torn by war were all disproportionately affected by COVID, just as they were, and still are, by HIV. Ironically, the very same kind of fear-based illogic that had popularized wearing masks around anyone suspected of being HIV positive made an important section of the population unwilling to mask up to protect the most physically challenged. The tiny sacrifice in personal freedom was more than they were willing to make, preferring to let others suffer or even die than deal with the slight inconvenience of wearing a small scrap of fabric over their mouths while indoors in public. As a result, the latest pandemic has lingered far longer than it needed to. Now, we all know the Earth as we know it is dying, and that the baby steps we are taking to address the problem are far from enough. Newsflash, the planet isn't actually going to die. However, it will become uninhabitable for humans before it can heal itself. In the meantime, we've proven as a species that not only are we not up for the task of caring for the planet, we are doing a pretty crappy job of caring for one another. More breaking news. There are going to be more pandemics. And given how poorly we responded to the two pandemics I've already mentioned, I propose that if we want to get through the next one in a way that's more supportive of one another, we start working on finding masks we can actually enjoy wearing. This won't save the planet, but maybe it will make what we have left of our lives together just a little more pleasant. Masks have been around for pretty much the entire existence of humankind and have existed in all cultures. They can be protective against the spread of viruses and harmful bacteria, but they can also have ceremonial, spiritual, and theatrical roles in expressing ourselves. They can entertain, tell stories, and create a character through which to explore alternative identities. It shouldn't be hard to pick a mask you actually want to wear. So if you're feeling smothered, think of the people you're protecting and get creative. Design a mask for yourself that you want to wear in the next pandemic. Many of the masks that I've been modeling for this performance were shared by family from around the world. Thanks to Doan Minh Chum in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, Peter Gerhauser in Karlsruhe, Germany, Velvet d'Amour in Paris, France, Jaime Perez in Guayaquil, Ecuador, Allison Ashby in Redding, California, Daniel Kaler in San Francisco, California, David Falk as Mrs. Vera in San Francisco, California, Donna Ellis in Phoenix, Arizona, Susie in Ocala, Florida, Ann Chamberlain in Carbondale, Indiana, Lisa Wallace-Keith in Lombard, Illinois, David Booth in Chicago, Illinois, Amy Christensen in Squamish, BC, my husband, Mike Seegers in Toronto, Ontario, and our very own Pink Lines Cabaret Queen, Bruno Reis from Fortaleza, Brazil. Silence equals death. Masking equals life. Masked, but never silent.